We just came back from Father's Day, and I hope that you all had a great time with family, connecting, because this is why we're working so hard. This is why we're doing everything that we're doing, is to have that time to connect with our family, to be one with the people that really matters for you. So what have you done during the weekend which is significant, which you would like to share with us? Today on the topic, I was thinking like what can I share? And I'm going to share a story with you just to show you how powerful the paradigm is. And if you're not familiar yet with the paradigm is a mental program that has exclusive control over your habitual behavior. And almost all of our behavior is habitual. So when you're waking up in the morning, you're moving toward a routine. And that routine is, this is what you do, this is how you're operating, this is what you're doing every single day. And you don't even think about it. And the paradigm is like, it's really always sneaking on you. It's attacking you, or is moving you in a different direction without your consentment, without you realizing what's happening. So it's extremely important that you, first of all, identify what is your paradigm, what is the habitual behavior that you are having, which is not conducive to get the results you want. And when you do identify with those, then it's to change them, change the one which is not working for you. Because now, don't fool yourself. Don't think that paradigm is bad, because it's not. It's not a bad thing. It's just making you move into a certain way, which sometimes is going to work for you, sometimes it's not working for you. So the idea is, how can you make sure that the paradigm that you're having is aligned with the type of life that you want to have? Very simple. That's exactly what you need to do and what you need to focus on. So every time when people are having challenges and they're talking about paradigm, and they don't know what they're talking about, and it's, oh, I need to do a paradigm shift. Yeah, do you know which one of those habits that you have to change to get the results that you want? And that's the very first thing. So when we started working on those habits, then we started realizing, okay, you know what, this habit doesn't serve me. For instance, if I had a client that told me, Mark, like, I never have time, to do everything that you tell me, like all of the activities I should be doing in the morning. Just at what time are you waking up? Oh, it's like, 8:30, 9. It's just, are you kidding me? 8:39? You should be in front of a client by that time. Like, waking up at 8:30 and then you're complaining you don't have enough time. That is a bad habit. So we need to change that habit, and which we did. And it's amazing the amount of results and the change in results. And that was just by changing the time that you're waking up in the morning. That is a bad habit. That is a habit which is non-conducive to get the results that you want. So now, would it change your paradigm, or that change a part of it? Like, the paradigm is the sum total of all of your habits, which are making you getting the results that you have. So if you're not happy with the results, always look at how you're doing, and what you're doing and how you're doing the things. And you're going to realize that by changing little things, waking up earlier in the morning, that would be one thing. Reading every single day, that will be another thing. That could be like taking time for yourself to do meditation, for example, to visualize what is it that you want to create. All of those things they are habits that you can implement into your life and can start changing your life just like that. But it all starts within. It's not from the outside. When you see a result, it's already happened a long time ago, in terms of thoughts, in terms of the way that you've been behaving. The result is the effect. Your work as a creative being is truly to focus on the cause. And when I say that, and I remember the first time that someone said that to me, like, when I was started working with this, I was starting to understand how it works really. How can I create on command? And someone says that what you need to focus on the cause, it was really foreign. It was really difficult to comprehend. But from the moment that you start understanding that you're controlling the cause, but and the effect is a ricochet. It's happening by default. See, it's not by default, but it's happening. That's an effect of what you've been, the action that you've been having, the thoughts that you've been entertaining, the feeling that you've been getting involved with. All this creates the effect, creates the results. So, and your goal and your work is to really put all of your attention on the cause. And if you're focusing on the cause, you observe the effect, you say, this is not what I want. And you start changing, you go to the primary cause of what created that, then you'll be able to change your results and you'll be able to change your paradigm ultimately. So that is truly the key in being charged of your paradigm and of your results. And if you're focusing on this, man, your life's going to be absolutely spectacular. And by the way, all this is free. You don't need to pay for this. The problem you're going to have is you will not be able to implement this into your life because the program is so powerful that it controls you without you having to do anything. And every time that you start justifying, oh yeah, this happened because of this, oh yeah, I can do that because of that, well, that is the paradigm talk. Now, Paulina, which is here, she's asking something like, do I have to go back to one of the lesson, which basically we're talking about the paradigm in lesson 2, because I realized another part of my paradigm. You always have to work on the paradigm for your entire life. If you want to change your result, your goal in your daily activities is to make sure that you can identify what is the habits that you are having, which is not helping you to get the results you want, and then work on those, which basically the paradigm is getting worked every single day. You're creating a paradigm shift in your life. So Paulina, absolutely. You always have to go back. Every time you're identifying a habit which is not aligned with your goal, you got to go back to that and you've got to work on it. And that is how that you're going to have massive shift in your life. This is how that you're going to create a massive paradigm shift in your life. And as well, going to quantum leap advancement. That is how you do that. Alice, she's saying it's natural to become more and more aware about our paradigm as you study and understand yourself. Absolutely. And every time that you identify in one, you say, okay, I'm going to make a little shift on this. I'm going to make a little change there because that's what I need to do. Right. But that is exactly what awareness does. Awareness is expanding your mind, expanding your understanding on everything that's happening around you, like the results that you are attracting, the people you are attracting, the resources that you're attracting. And you say, you know what, I would like to have a little bit more of that. And then you're focusing on the cause, you're focusing on the work that you need to do for yourself. And by changing all those things, now all of a sudden, like, you start having different results. And then you're like, wow, this is so simple. It is simple and it is easy when you have the awareness and when you know and you have the tools to change those. When it's complicated, it's when like you're on autopilot and you just walking and then expect, oh, like I hope that this is gonna change. The hope won't change anything. It's really through your action, through your thoughts, through your feeling, through the action, focusing on the cause, and then the effect will take care of itself. In other words, the result will take care of itself if you're putting all of your attention on the cause, on the action you're taking. No, Sarvan, this is not a question for this. You're gonna confuse a lot of people there. Sarvan's asking, can you tell me how lead the field differs from TIR? That is not the place to do that. What I would recommend you to talk to Declan, first of all, and or you send me a message in private, and I can help you with that. But no, that's not the place where we can talk about this. Like, everybody's going to be confused. Like, lead the field, TIR, that's what's happening. Look at this little girl here. Big ha. This is a turtle from the story from my wife, which the book is complete. Now we're working on something. You'll know as soon as we're gonna have the news that we want, we'll share it with you. Very, very, very exciting. So this is the story I wanted to share with you. So I had a person that wanted to, and just to show you how insidious the paradigm is. So I had a person that asked me to keep her accountable to reach a certain goal. And I was like, okay, so you're going to do this, this, and this, right? This is what you need to do. You need to do this every single day. And then you need to do a picture, take a picture and then send it to me every day when you're done. And we're going to do this for 60 days. So doing really well, results are increasing every week. Like, the results are getting better, and doing the work. Day 45, I received the picture as usual. And then I didn't receive anything for 5 days. So I wrote a text. It's just like, hey, I haven't received anything from you. Like, what's going on? And then this is what she said to me. She's like, oh, yeah, I didn't send anything. I had the feeling that I was done. Just like, wait a minute. First of all, this is exactly what the paradigm does. It's going to make you feel comfortable and happy and warm and fuzzy because you did get results. But what you need to understand is you got the result because you started creating different habits. So, and if you made a deal with yourself, if you made a commitment with yourself that you're going to complete something and you're going to do something in a certain way, you need to go until the end of that. You need to have the persistence to continue until the end of your commitment. Now, we were at day 45 out of 60. I was like, we didn't do like day 45 out of 45. We did, you are at 45 out of 60. So there's 2 weeks missing. And pay attention to what you said. I had the feeling that I was done. No, you were not done. And what's happening with this is probably now she will experience a drop in the results because she got convinced by the paradigm, by the program, that was good enough. Or when you were just at the very end, when you were just like 3 feet from goal, you dropped the ball. So guess what she has to do now? She has to start from day one. So that was the best thing that could have happened to her, because now she realized how insidious this paradigm is, how bad the paradigm is going to create sabotage into the reaching of her goal. And this happened to you every single time. Is you're getting very close to it, and then you're like, you're going 100 miles an hour. You're going so fast. Everything goes really good. And then because you're going faster than usual, normally you're going to lift the foot from the gas. It's going too fast. Just, I'm fine, I'm halfway through my goal. I can take a break. I can slow down. And you don't have to convince me on this. I know it's happening because it happened to me and it happens to everybody that I coach. That is exactly where the paradigm hits and tells you that, yeah, we're doing good. Like, we don't need to do that anymore. We've been doing well. So why would you do that? I mean, it takes a lot of time. But that is part of the new habit that you're forming, that it's creating the new results that you are having, and it's creating those new things in your life. So why would you stop there? Most of the time is laziness. Most of the time is the paradigm just slapping you aside across the face, and you let it happen. You gotta be extremely dedicated and committed. And that commitment is what is going to create those new results, is what's going to create those new habits, and ultimately a paradigm shift into who you want to be. But the moment that becomes your paradigm, right? The moment that this comes your new habitual behavior, that's going to be your new paradigm. And probably you're going to start to become comfortable there. So you need to continue pushing yourself and creating new ways and a new habit and continuously advancing. Advancement, increase, is the natural progression of every living being. From the moment you stop increasing, you start dying. There's no status quo. And that part is very interesting because I've seen so many people that are doing really, really well. And they say, yeah, I'm in my sweet spot. One person in particular always comes to my mind for this. As I am in my sweet spot. Well, guess what? Got fired. Because there's no continuous increase. There's no continuous advancement. And if you're not advancing, if you're not, especially if you work for someone and you are into an executive position, you better continue advancing. You better continuing to move forward. Otherwise, you will be replaced. It's just a question of time. Because increase is part of, and it's inherent in every living being. If you look at a plant, if the plant is not continuously bringing new leaves on, bringing new flowers, growing, it's instantly start dying. Disintegration comes and set it at once. That's exactly what Alice is saying. I'm done. I'm good. I know this. I got it. When you stop growing, you start dying. Right? Actually, while that we're talking about this, I'm gonna read this part, which is really, really good. That's part of the 4th chapter I'm reading every single day now, which I'm at day 30, 33 today, I think. Something like that. It's really good. Listen to this. The desire for increase is inherent in all nature. Inherent. That's part of the nature of every living being, but actually it's part of nature. It's part of the universe. It's the fundamental impulse of the universe. Fundamental impulse. Fundamental. I didn't say like, oh, it's just one part. No, it's fundamental. It's at the root of the universe. All human activities are based on the desire for increase. So when you do something, it's because you want to get better. People are seeking more food more clothes, better shelter, more luxury, more beauty, more knowledge, more pleasure, more life. When you're increasing, you have more life. When you are spending time with your family, as I mentioned, that was Father's Day yesterday, spending time with your children and having them look at you with this ha ha moment and giving you a hug. I mean, like that is increasing your life. It's increasing your love for your children. It's increasing your being, your experience. That is what increase is all about. Every living thing is under the necessity for continuous advancement. Where increased life ceases, dissolution and death set in at once. People instinctively, okay, part of your instinct, part of your natural being, people instinctively know this, and hence they are forever seeking more. So it's not bad. It's not bad to get more. Now, he's quoting something from the Bible. And again, for me, when I use things like which are from the Bible, I use things which are from the religion. I'm not buying into this religion or that religion. Look at it objectively. Look at it as what it is and see if this resonates with you. That's all. Like nobody tells you that you've got to start like become a Catholic or a Jehovah Witness or like a Mormon or natives. I mean, this is nonsense. It's not because you're listening to something from one religion that it makes you it makes you part of it. You can listen to it and see if this resonates with you. But I love this part, which the law of perpetual increase is set forth by Jesus in the parable of the talents. Listen to this. Only those who gain more retain any. From him who hath not shall be taken away even that which he hath. If you listen to this, it might even feel that this is unfair. Only those who gain more retain any. From him who hath not shall be taken away even which he hath. Now there's one word missing there. There's a hidden word. And this is one thing about like the scriptures and everything that you're reading. Sometimes you've got to read in between the lines. Sometimes you've got to go further for your understanding. Because if you stay on the surface, which by the way, we've been conditioned, this is part of the paradigm, this is part of the habit. We've been conditioned to stay on the surface. This is why when you read a book, you read it and that's it, you're done. You move it aside and then you start reading another one. Did you understand what the author really means? Because if you stay on the surface, well, your life will be shallow. That is the reason why you study. That is what studying is you try to go different layers deeper to understand what really the author means. Only those who gain more retain any. So if you think about it, so let's use money, okay? Because that's something that everybody can relate. And we put money on this, right? Only those who gain more money retain any. Just like, that is not fair. From him who hath no money shall be taken away even that which he hath. So from the person that doesn't even have any, he will be taken away even what he already has. This is why it's important to understand, and that goes exactly with the law of circulation, is when you have money, you've got to make it circulating, keep it circulating. Because if you try to hold it, you'll be taking what you already have. But one time I read something else, which because I always thought that this parable is yeah, I thought in the beginning it was not fair, but there's a hidden part in there, which if you read a little bit like before and after, they're talking about gratitude. So let's put gratitude into this. Only those who gain more gratitude retain any. From him who hath no gratitude shall be taken away even that which he hath. And from the moment you start listening to this, then you just, I got, that makes a lot of sense. So if you're not grateful for already what you have, how are you going to add more into what you have? Actually, as a matter of fact, if you are starting to complain about the good that you have in your life, you cannot continue to bring more into your experience. The normal desire for increased wealth is not an evil or a reprehensible thing. It is simply the desire for more abundant life. Would you rather have an abundant life instead of having a life which, you're feeling in lack, and you're missing this and you're missing that and you're complaining about this, and then you have more complaints because this is where your mind is set up, instead of having abundance in all aspects of your life, having opulence, which I'm not going to go there because I'm going to lose some of you, that's for sure. But because it is the deepest instinct of their natures, all men and women are attracted to an individual who can give them more of the means of life. That is why successful people are getting more all the time. That is why there's some people that they are a magnet, they're just attracting more to them. And you're just wondering, why is everything he's touching turned into gold? That's exactly why. It's because they are giving this impression of increase to everybody they touch. And as you give impression of increase to people, people want to be part of your experience because you make them feel good. And by the way, this is how that you will never lack business. If you're in business, or if you are working, if you are in a job, you want to make sure that you always get advancement. Make sure that everybody that encounter you, everybody that touched you, are feeling better because they met you. And if you are putting your effort to create increase in everybody's life, your life's going to be abundant. And that, my friend, that is what living is all about. This is why you have those people that seems to, you look at their social media, like they are abundant. There's a lot of people which are friends with them. It's just like, how do you have like 3,500 friends, Mark? Well, because I'm giving. I want people to feel better because they are part of my social network. You don't see anything of negative. It's all about abundance, all about growth. It's all about this. This is what I'm providing as information and as a surrounding. So that is probably one of the reasons why people are coming and are socializing with me and are part of my social network. But if you're putting, and by the way, if you are in part of my network and you're putting some crap, you're out. I will never see your feed because I just unfollow you. I don't want to see that. Because that's not the experience that I decide to have. And the people that wants to have a good experience, well, they know that if I go and see Marc social network, it's gonna be positive, it's gonna be good, it's gonna make me feel good. But if you're putting crap on it all the time, well, the type of people you're attracting is exactly that. You choose. The secret is that you can create whatever you want. You can create your social network. You can create the experience that you want to live. You are in charge for everything. Yeah, but Marc, like, I didn't decide that, my parents is gonna die. I get that. You didn't decide that. But part of your experience is to see there's a message there for you. And it's your response towards it that's going to make this experience being either a negative one, or it's going to be something that's going to make you grow. That's it. Nothing, no more, no less. Your choice. So decide to live the way you want to live, and stop letting the outside conditions dictate how you want to live. And that is creating a new paradigm. That is doing a paradigm shift on the way you're going to respond toward event that's happening on the outside, and create a different experience for yourself. Questions, comments, things you would like to clarify into what we just shared. That was something I wanted to talk about last night. It was good. Totally forgot. By the way, that is something that you need to do and to create a habit. When you have an idea, put it down. Write it down. Normally I do it, but last night I was in bed. I was really comfortable. I was feeling great, and I had this great. I said, oh, I'm gonna talk about this tomorrow, and then I thought maybe I should stand up and write it down. I was like, no, I'm gonna remember. Well, guess what? I don't remember. Jonathan saying, I started writing my life script at night before bed and realized how powerful it is for creating the next day. It's like pre-selecting my autopilot setting. Well, this is exactly what we do in lesson 8, which basically what we do is we are aligning our belief with our behavior. So you believe that you can become XYZ. Now, the behavior would be to start impressing that thought into your mind. And how do you do that? Is by working at it every single day. And as you're doing that, which by the way, this is the challenge that we did, me and my accountability partner, we did that for 90 days. And I've got such a vivid image of the life that I'm living. I mean, I'm already living. It's not I want to live this life. I'm already living this life. But I created pictures. I created textures. I started embedding this with emotions and how I'm going to feel and this and that, and the type of operation I want to have, my global operation. And it feels so good. And yesterday I read it again, and I was like, wow, you know, by reading it again, I could see the picture, and it was so clear, so vibrant, so much picture and texture and everything. I'm already living in there. So it is it's a very powerful exercise, and I really recommend you to do that. Jared Metcalf's habits, totally what I need to focus most right now. Have been getting constant intuition about it. Great reinforcement. When your intuition is coming and tells you to do something, you're connecting with source. Some people call it God, the universe, infinite intelligence, whatever you want to call it. But you're connecting to the higher power. That's what intuition is. And most of the time, actually, not most, all the time, your intuition is always with you, and it's always telling you to do things. But then you start reasoning with it, and then you mess up the process. The very first thought that comes, that's intuition, every time, no exception. And then when you start working with it, that is reasoning, and most of the times the paradigm. taking over and tells you, yeah, oh, if we do this, oh yeah, but what about that? And what about if this and that? And then you start making some freaking movies in your head of nonsense, of potential condition that might happen, which by the way, most of the time doesn't. And then you don't even take the first step. That is crazy. I'm telling you, this paradigm shit, that is not a joke. It is extremely powerful, and it's gonna mess up with you every single time. I'm gonna put the link of the paradigm shift here. We have an event at the end of the month, 28th to the 30th, if I'm not mistaken. I really recommend, if you haven't done the paradigm shift, I'll put the link above here. I really recommend you to get into it, because what it's going to do is it's going to give you a little bit of tools to start making a shift in that paradigm. Because if you continue having the same paradigm and expecting different results, you're fooling yourself. And like, bar none, you're crazy. Because it all starts within. It all starts making that change and make that shift in your paradigm so you can start getting the results that you truly want. But yeah, Alfredo was saying like, awesome paradigm shift. He was there live with me last time. But just having those tools will start creating that first awareness, that first step. After, you need to implement other tools if you truly want to create a shift in your life, that you start living the life that you envision. But all this is possible. It's not that I'm special. It's not that I have more talent and ability that you have. Some of you has more talent and ability than I have, but you can still have the same life. You can have a better life. Your choice. And by the way, and it's really interesting because like with my colleagues, which we all consultants, we're not competing. It's not like, oh, she's better and I'm better and all those. That's not what we're doing. We're all great. We all have different talent. We all have different approach to it, and we can all have an exceptional experience, and that is what matters. This is where your focus should be, on what type of experience that you will have for you, for your family, for the people which are surrounding you. And if you're focusing on this, you're gonna have a life, my friend, which is worth living. I hope that you're gonna have a fantastic week. I wish you like the best week. Make the decision to have a phenomenal week, and you will see that week's gonna transform into something absolutely beautiful. I'll see you next Monday. Peace out.